Every fear I couldn't speak, I stood in storms you never saw, calling your name but you were gone. I learned your silence like a prayer, hoped you'd answer, hoped you'd care. But hope gets tired of holding on when love feels right but something's wrong. I was drowning in what we pretended, still believed you'd reach for my hand. Love forgot to save me, left me where I fell. I begged for you to stay here, but you chose yourself. I broke in slow motion while you walked away free. Love forgot to save me, and it buried me. I stitched your name into my chest, called it healing, called it faith. I wore your promises like truth, even when they started to break. You said forever, way too lie, like it didn't cost a life. Mine was shaking, yours was short. You survived, I didn't make it through. I was screaming without a sound, still thought love would turn around. Love forgot to save me, left me incomplete. I fought for us alone until I couldn't breathe. I lost every part of who I used to be. Love forgot to save me, and it ended me. If loving you was bravery, why does it feel like blame? I stayed until there was nothing left, but you don't even feel the same. I don't hate you, I just hurt from believing you were worth every scar you never see, every night that ruined me. Love forgot to save me, but I still survive, with a heart that's barely beating and a soul learning to cry. I'll heal in the silence you gave me, learn to breathe again slowly. Love forgot to save me, but I won't forget me. I loved you honestly, that's how I know. Love forgot to save me, but now I let you go. You smiled like you meant no harm, held my heart with gentle hands. I trusted you with everything, not knowing where this would end. You knew the places I was weak, still touched them anyway. I called it love, I called it fate, you called it just a phase. I let you in beneath my skin, that's where the damage bloomed. You were my deepest wound, the one that didn't bleed, the kind of pain that lives inside and never really leaves. I survived every scar before, but you cut me through. You weren't just heartbreak, you were my deepest wound. I stayed when I should've run, made excuses for your lies. I learned how to swallow tears just to keep us alive. You broke me without a sound, left still cleaning up the mess of loving you this way. I try to heal, but every time your name reopened wounds, you were my deepest wound, hidden but severe, smiling on the outside, bleeding every year. I lost the parts of me I never thought I'd lose. You weren't just a memory, you were my deepest wound. If pain had a favorite place, it would be where you stay. You taught my heart how not to trust, how love can rot, not fade. I don't miss you, I miss who I was before you touched my truth, before I learned that loving you was something I'd survive, not choose. You were my deepest wound, but I'm still here somehow, learning how to breathe again, learning how to heal now. You don't know my brokenness or the pain you brewed. You were my deepest wound, but I outlived you. You left, and I learned the truth. Some scars don't show. You were my deepest wound, but you don't get me anymore. We were halfway through a sentence, halfway through a dream. Your hands were still around me, but your heart had already slipped. I was learning how to trust you, you were learning how to leave. I was falling without warning, you were counting reasons free. I didn't see the ending, 'cause I was still believing. You left me mid-feeling, mid-love, mid-hope, while my heart was still choosing you. You let it go, I was all in, unguarded. You were already gone. You left me mid-feeling, and I'm still holding on. You said nothing's wrong so softly, like the truth would stay asleep. But silence speaks in heavy ways, and it kept breaking me. I replay every moment, wonder where you changed. Was it something I didn't say, or the love you couldn't name? I was trying to save us, you were packing your heart. You left me mid-feeling, mid-breath, mid-cry. I was still fighting for forever, you were saying goodbye. I gave you every version of me, you chose none. You left me mid-feeling, now I'm undone. If you were already leaving, why'd you let me fall? Why'd you hold me like forever if you felt nothing at all? I don't hate you, I'm just lost in the space you left behind, trying to finish feelings you abandoned midline. You left me mid-feeling, but I'm learning to heal, learning how to let go of what we couldn't feel. I'll close the chapter you dropped, learn to move on. You left me mid-feeling, but I won't stay stuck there long. I'll finish loving myself the way you couldn't stay. okay. You used to feel so close to me, like air I didn't notice. Now saying your name feels heavy, like I'm forcing myself to focus. Your laugh is getting quieter in the corners of my mind. I hate that healing sounds like this, like leaving you behind. I didn't mean to let you go, I just ran out of pain. I'm fading you out of my veins, out of the nights that still say your name. It hurts to heal, but I have to choose between breaking forever or fading you. I still reach for your shadow when the room feels too empty, but your memory is softer now, still sharp, just less deadly. I loved you with my whole heart, now I'm learning what remains, how to live without the weight of repeating all your pain. I try to keep you alive in me, but it cost me everything. I'm fading you from every prayer, from the what ifs that kept you there. I didn't lose love, I just outgrew the version of me that needed you. If love was a picture we left in the sun, I didn't erase you, you just came undone. I'll always remember, but not the same way. Some people stay sharp, some people just fade. I'm fading you, not out of hate, but out of the need to feel this way. I'll keep the lessons, lose the bruise, I'm not losing love. I'm fading. I'm fading. You're still a ghost, but not my truth. I didn't stop loving, I just stopped choosing you. The room still knows your shape, even though you're gone. Your name sits in the silence like it doesn't belong. I reach for what we used to be, out of old habit, not hope. Love doesn't disappear once, it just learns how to cope. I thought the worst would be the leaving, but I was wrong. After goodbye is where I break, when there's no you left to wait. The world keeps moving, I stand still, learning how to live after goodbye. Your shirt still smells like yesterday, I haven't let it go. I talk to you in empty rooms like you'll never know. Everyone says you'll be fine, like healing's fast and clean. but missing you is quiet work done in between. I don't cry when I say your name, only when I don't. After goodbye is where it hurts, when memories show up unrehearsed. I smile in public, fall apart every night that follows after goodbye. I didn't lose you all at once, I lose you every day, in coffee cups and open doors and things you used to say. If love ends when people leave, why does mine stay alive? Why am I still learning how to survive? After goodbye, I'm still here, building a life out of fear. I'll find myself in the ache I hide. I didn't end with you, I began after goodbye. Some loves don't fade, they just change shape. I'll carry yours after goodbye. I smile when they ask how I've been, say I'm fine like I always do, but my room still echoes your name in the spaces you once moved through. I learned how to laugh in public, cry when nobody's home. I'm surrounded by noise and faces, but I never felt so alone. I don't scream, I don't fall apart, I just take where you used to be. I'm quietly alone in a crowded room, holding pieces of us that don't fit anymore. I don't beg, I don't call your phone, I just sit with the truth that I'm quietly alone. Without you, your memory doesn't hurt like before, it just stays like a scar. I still check my phone sometimes, knowing exactly where you are. You moved on like it was nothing, like love didn't leave a mark. I stayed learning how to breathe again in the dark. I loved you louder than I should, now I heal in silence. I'm quietly alone, learning to cope, missing the version of me that still had hope. I don't chase, I don't ask to be shown what we could have been. I'm quietly alone, moving on, moving on. If loneliness had a sound, it would be this calm, not screaming, not breaking, just quietly be gone. I don't hate you, I just accept you're not coming back. Some goodbyes don't slam the door, they just never text. I'm quietly alone, but I'm still alive, still learning how to love me without asking why. I'll build something new from the pieces you couldn't hold. I'm quietly alone, but I'm not cold. One day the silence will feel like peace. Until then I'll sit here, quietly alone with me. You said my name like it was safe, like I could fall and not break. You held my hands, looked in my eyes, and swore you'd stay. You painted futures in my head with careless words you didn't mean. I trusted every promise you let me believe. I built my world on what you said, while you were already vain. You let me believe in forever, in us, while your heart was halfway gone. I gave you my truth, you gave me enough to keep me holding on. I wasn't crazy, I was deceived. That's what hurts the most. You didn't lie, you just let me believe. I defended you in every room, made excuses for your silence. I called your distance being tired, called my pain patience. You knew I loved you deeper, still you stayed just close enough to keep my hope alive, but never close enough to love. I stayed loyal to the story you stopped writing long ago. You let me believe I was the one while you were keeping your escape. I waited for you, you waited for nothing but the right time to walk away. I gave you everything in me, you gave me doubt, you didn't break me. You just let me believe. If honesty had shown up sooner, I wouldn't be this lost. But you chose comfort over truth, no matter the cost. I don't blame love, I blame the space where you should have been real with me. You let me believe, and that's the wound, not the leaving, not the end. I would have survived the goodbye if I'd known when. Now I'm healing from the faith you let me keep. You didn't love me wrong, you just let me believe. Next time I fall, I'll need proof, not promises, not half-truths. We built a world that felt like always, every promise whispered in the dark. I thought our love could bend time, but you pulled away before the start. I counted every laugh, every tear, every I love you that we shared. And somewhere between hope and fear we vanished, as if we weren't there. I didn't see the cracks in your smile until they swallowed the rest of us. We ended mid-forever before we learned to stay. I was holding on to always while you drifted away. I wanted our hearts to last, but forever left too soon. We ended mid-forever under the same moon. I still dream in fragments of us, conversations that never grew old. I trace your name in empty rooms and feel the warmth that went cold. Every plan we made is haunted now by the shadow of your goodbye. I'm learning to live without your hands, without the echo of us nearby. I wanted the chapters we never wrote, but you left the pen behind. We ended mid-forever before we learned to stay. I was holding on to always while you drifted away. I wanted our hearts to last, but forever left too soon. We ended mid-forever under the same moon. If love had a fault line, ours ran through the stars. I gave you every piece of me. You walked away with scars. I'll remember what could have been, not the silence you chose, but I'll keep trying to live after we froze. We ended mid-forever, but I'll keep the memory alive of a love that tried to stay but couldn't survive. I'll learn to say goodbye without you here too soon. We ended mid-forever, still beneath the same moon. Some loves don't get forever. Some hearts just fade. We ended mid-forever, but I still feel the ache. I held your heart like it was mine, even though it broke in shards. I traced the cracks with trembling hands, collected pieces in the dark. I loved you through your brokenness, through every lie, every bruise. I tried to fit the puzzle together, but you refused to choose. I didn't notice my own heart bleeding while I pieced together yours. I loved you in pieces, every fragment you couldn't keep. I gave you my whole soul while you were lost in sleep. I loved you in pieces while you never knew. I tried to make you whole, but I fell apart too. I held the parts no one would touch, kept the pieces you let fall. I whispered love over broken glass, prayed it could fix it all. I stayed too long spaces where your emptiness would grow. I gave you light in darkness, but you never let it show. I carried your weight like it was mine, ignored the cracks in me. I loved you in pieces. I loved you in pieces. Every fragment you couldn't hold, I gave you my everything while you stayed cold. I loved you in pieces and it broke me through. I tried to mend your heart, but I shattered too. Maybe some loves aren't meant to heal, maybe some hearts can't be saved. I loved you in pieces anyway, even when I was enslaved. I'll put myself back together, learn to love what remains. The pieces you left behind won't define my pain. I loved you in pieces, but I love myself whole. I'll mend the cracks you left and reclaim my soul. I loved you in pieces, but now I see the truth. I gave too much to someone who couldn't love my proof. I loved you in pieces, but I'm learning to be complete. I'll carry the lesson, not the heartbreak. I'll stand on my own 2 feet. Your words were soft but empty, like whispers through a broken glass. I held on to what you promised, but it never seemed to last. I chased the shadow of your heart, felt every step behind. Loving you was full of nothing, and still I called it mine. I stayed in the echo of your touch, even when it didn't reach me. This hollow love, it eased me from inside. I gave you all my pieces, you let them slip and hide. It's a love with no heartbeat, a fire with no flame. I'm holding a ghost, but I call your name. I dressed my pain in memories, thought it could make you real, but all I found in your embrace was the cold I used to feel. I tried to fill the spaces where your love should have been, but hollow hearts don't mend, and hollow love never wins. I believed in a warmth that was never meant for me. This hollow love, it eats me from inside. I gave you all my pieces, you let them slip and hide. It's a love with no heartbeat, a fire with no flame. I'm holding ghosts, but I call your name. I thought love could save us, but it drowned in empty eyes. I stayed too long in darkness, believing your disguise. I'm learning how to let go of the love that never was. I'll find the pieces of me and leave behind the hollow, because this hollow love but I remain stronger than the echoes of all this pain.